You're eating dark chocolate because someone told you it's good for your heart. Consumer Reports tested 28 dark chocolate bars sold in British supermarkets. Every single one contained lead and cadmium. 82% exceeded safe limits for at least one heavy metal. The worst offender? That organic bar you're paying £3.60 for at Waitrose. But here's the part that should terrify you. These exact companies were sued in America. They paid settlements, changed their formulas in the US. But in Britain, same contaminated bars, zero warnings, zero accountability. Because British regulators don't test. I'm going to show you exactly which brands are dangerous to you. The ranking will shock you, but the two safe options at the end, worth waiting for. Green and Black's Organic Dark, 70%. That green wrapper, the word organic in massive letters, fair trade logo right there on the front. £3.60 per 100 grams at Waitrose. You recognise this one because it's positioned as premium ethical chocolate, owned by Mondelez International, the same parent company as Cadbury. They source from Ivory Coast and Ghana. They charge you 60% more than regular chocolate for those certifications. The testing destroyed their reputation. Lead at 143% of California's safe limit, 0.72 micrograms per ounce. Cadmium at 181% of safe limits, 7.42 micrograms per ounce. Both metals exceeded safety standards in the same bar. One square of Green and Black's delivers 4% of your weekly cadmium limit. Eat it daily like they suggest, you're consuming 30% of safe limits just from chocolate before counting vegetables, grains or water. And you're paying £3.60 per 100 grams for the privilege. Here's what organic certification actually means for heavy metals. Absolutely nothing. The soil cadmium is geological. Organic farming doesn't reduce it. You're paying a massive premium for worse contamination. Flavanols, approximately 50 milligrams per 30 gram serving. Heavy metals, 8.14 micrograms combined. Score, 6.1. Green and Black's ranks dead last. Worst contamination, worst value. And this exact product faces class action lawsuits in America right now. Mondelez is being sued by US consumers for the same bars they're selling you at Waitrose with zero warnings. British buyers get nothing. No lawsuits, no settlements. Just kidney damage marketed as wellness. Move this to the avoid pile. Contestant number 9. Lindt Excellence 70% Dark Swiss Chocolate. Premium positioning, £3.50 at Tesco normally, £3 with Club Card. Expertly crafted with the finest ingredients. That's printed right on the wrapper. Lindt builds their entire brand on quality and precision. Testing revealed cadmium at 116% of California's safe limit. 4.76 micrograms per ounce. Their 85% Excellence bar tested even worse. Lead at 166% of safe limits. But Lindt has an interesting legal defense. When American consumers sued them in New York federal court, Lindt's lawyers argued that expertly crafted with the finest ingredients was just marketing puffery, not a real promise, just words designed to make you buy. The judge rejected that defense in September 2024. The lawsuit continues. So Lindt admits in court their marketing means nothing, while simultaneously charging you £3.50 for the privilege of consuming 116% safe cadmium limits. That's the business model. Flavanols, approximately 45 milligrams. Heavy metals, 5.5 micrograms. Score, 8.2. Lindt ranks second worst for contamination. Premium price, proven contamination. Currently being sued in America while selling identical bars in Britain with zero accountability. Move this one to the avoid pile as well. Tony's Chocolonely Dark, 70%. That chunky bar wrapped in bright packaging. Tony's built their brand on ethical sourcing, slave-free chocolate, transparent supply chains, named Ghanaian cooperatives on the wrapper. They position as the good guys fighting chocolate industry exploitation. Testing showed lead at 134% of California's safe limit, 0.67 micrograms per ounce. Cadmium passed standards at just 28% of the limit. So one metal is safe, one metal isn't. Tony's acknowledges they test for heavy metals, but they've never published the results. Lead contamination happens after harvest, during roadside drying when dust settles on beans. It's preventable with covered drying platforms. Tony's transparency extends to labour practices, but apparently not to heavy metal testing. Flavanols, approximately 55 milligrams. Heavy metals, 4.2 micrograms. Score, 13.1. Tony's ranks as moderate high risk. The ethical sourcing is real. The lead contamination is also real. Limited UK availability makes this harder to find anyway. Sainsbury's mainly stocks their 51% dark milk bars, rather than the tested 70% dark chocolate. This one gets the limit consumption rating. Contestant number 7. Cadbury Bourneville Classic Dark. Britain's heritage dark chocolate. Since 1824, right there on the purple wrapper. This is the bar your grandparents bought. Maximum nostalgia. £1.25 per 100 grams with club card at Tesco. By far the cheapest on this list. Here's the problem. Nobody's ever tested it. Not Consumer Reports, not As You Sow, not Consumer Lab. Zero independent verification. And Cadbury, owned by Mondelez, the same parent as Green and Black's, sources from identical West African cocoa life programs. The likelihood? Similar contamination to Green and Black's, but at a fraction of the price. You're getting unknown risk either way, just cheaper unknown risk. There's a secondary issue. Bourneville is only 36% cocoa. That's not dark chocolate by health standards. Real dark chocolate starts at 70%. Cadbury Bourneville gets an unknown, likely moderate risk rating. Same corporate sourcing as Green and Black's suggests similar contamination. But at £1.25 100 grams, you're at least paying less for the poison. Not recommended, but less offensive than Green and Black's premium-priced contamination. Contestant number 6. Aldi Moser Roth Dark. 70%. German-manufactured budget private label. £1.91 per 100 grams. Best value on price alone. Aldi positions this as affordable premium chocolate. The foil wrapping looks fancy. The price suggests otherwise. Never tested by any independent lab. Zero transparency about sourcing or heavy metal testing. As a German manufacturer, Moser Roth must comply with EU regulations. But those regulations allow 0.8 milligrams per kilogram cadmium, far higher than California's health protective standards. The red flag. Aldi also sells organic Peruvian 70% under the Moser Roth brand. Peru is one of the world's highest cadmium sources due to volcanic northern regions. Organic processing increases heavy metal concentration. That specific variant likely exceeds safe limits significantly. For the standard Moser Roth 70% dark, unknown contamination from unknown sourcing at the lowest price. Estimated flavanols, 50 milligrams. Estimated heavy metals, 5 micrograms. Score, 10. Moser Roth Standard gets unknown, moderate concern. The organic Peruvian variant gets unknown, High concern. Avoid. Without testing data, you're gambling. At £1.91 100 grams, at least you're not overpaying for the gamble. Contestant number 5. Tesco Finest Dark Chocolate, 70%. Supermarket Premium Own Brand, £2.40 per 100 grams. Rainforest Alliance certified. Tesco markets their finest range as quality without premium pricing. They offer Peruvian, Ecuadorian, and 85% variants, all from South American volcanic regions known for high geological cadmium, never tested independently. Tesco publishes zero heavy metal data despite being Britain's largest supermarket. They could test, they could publish results, they choose not to. South American sourcing raises particular concern. Ecuador's northern regions show the world's highest cocoa cadmium, up to 3 milligrams per kilogram in beans. Peruvian hotspots exceed EU limits regularly. Tesco is specifically sourcing from high cadmium origins while providing zero testing transparency. Estimated flavanols, 55 milligrams. Estimated heavy metals, 6 micrograms. High estimate due to South American sourcing. Score, 9.2. Tesco Finest gets unknown, moderate high concern. The South American sourcing, combined with zero transparency, suggests higher contamination probability. Not recommended until Tesco publishes testing data. Contestant number 4. Sainsbury's. Taste the difference. Dark, 74%. Sainsbury's Premium Own Brand. Similar positioning to Tesco Finest. Approximately £2.40 per 100 grams. Rainforest Alliance or similar certification. The extra 4% cocoa versus standard 70% bars positions this as more premium. Never tested. Zero transparency. Sainsbury's publishes nothing about heavy metal testing, despite being a major UK retailer with the resources to test every own brand product. That 74% cocoa content suggests slightly higher flavanols, but also slightly higher heavy metal concentration. Both good and bad compounds increase together. Without knowing sourcing regions, contamination levels remain pure speculation. Estimated flavanols, 60 milligrams. Estimated heavy metals, 5 micrograms. Score, 12. Sainsbury's Taste the Difference gets unknown, moderate risk. Marginally better positioning than Tesco due to less explicit South American marketing, but that's speculation without data. Not recommended until Sainsbury's proves safety through published testing. Hotel Chocolate, 70% dark. British luxury chocolatier, premium pricing across their range. Hotel Chocolate owns estates in St. Lucia and Ghana, theoretically enabling superior quality control through vertical integration. Here's the frustration. Standard dark chocolate bars proved nearly impossible to locate in research. Waitrose stocks mainly liqueurs, gift boxes, and novelty items. The company markets bean-to-bar quality and British luxury while making their basic dark bars hard to find and test. Caribbean volcanic soils present different geological cadmium profiles than West Africa, potentially lower, potentially higher, impossible to know without testing. Estate ownership should enable better post-harvest processing to reduce lead, but without independent testing or published data, you're paying premium prices for unknown contamination. Estimated flavanols, 55 milligrams. Estimated heavy metals, 4 micrograms. Optimistic estimate given estate control. Score, 13.75. Hotel Chocolate gets unknown, theoretically promising but unverified. Estate ownership is positive, lack of transparency is negative. Premium pricing without proven safety is offensive. Not recommended until Hotel Chocolate publishes heavy metal testing to justify their luxury positioning. Contestant number 2. Montazuma's Dark Chocolate, 70 to 100%. British chocolatier based in Brighton. Premium positioning without premium prices. Competitive with supermarket brands. Consumer Lab named their Absolute Black 100% a top pick for exceptionally low heavy metals. Montazuma's publicly addresses heavy metal concerns on their website. They source single estate beans from Ecuador and Colombia. They publish cadmium testing at 0.35 milligrams per kilogram, less than half the EU maximum of 0.8 milligrams per kilogram. Their 72% Ecuador bar delivers 374 milligrams flavanols per serving alongside minimal contamination. This represents the best risk-benefit ratio in UK supermarkets. High flavanols, low metals, competitive pricing, actual transparency. Heavy metals, 2 micrograms. Score 35.0. Montazuma's ranks second safest. Verified low contamination through independent testing. Genuine transparency. Available at Asda and specialty retailers. This is what the chocolate industry should look like. Testing, transparency, safety. Strongly recommended. Contestant number 1. Divine Dark Chocolate, 70%. Fair trade farmer-owned cooperative. Sourced exclusively from Kuapa Kaku Cooperative in Ghana. Consumer Reports tested Divine and confirmed both lead and cadmium below 50% of California's strict limits. The only UK brand verified safe for both metals. Divine proves that West African cocoa, when properly sourced and processed, produces genuinely healthy dark chocolate. Ghana's older, eroded soils naturally contain lower cadmium than South American volcanic regions. Farmer ownership incentivizes quality control over profit maximization. The testing revealed exceptional safety, low lead, low cadmium, moderate flavanols. The only UK brand where eating daily poses minimal cumulative risk. Flavanols, 50 milligrams. Heavy metals, 1.5 micrograms. Score, 33.3. Divine ranks safest. Only UK brand with verified low contamination for both heavy metals. Sporadic availability at major supermarkets makes this harder to find, but worth seeking out. When you see Divine, buy multiple bars. Which brand shocked you the most? Drop your experience in the comments. And if you want more investigations like this, click the video on screen. Thanks for watching.